Joel, thanks very much for coming on to my show there today. You really drawn my attention through the NBA community. Basically, I've heard a few stories of you, and obviously, you've been on their Monday Night United call, which, gave me an opportunity to learn a bit about you. But thank you very much for coming on to my show there today, Joel.
No worries, my bro. Thank you so much for reaching out to me. And I'm very happy to be on this call with you.
It's my pleasure to have you, So let's get into it. But anyway, just something a bit off topic. How's life been for you whilst during COVID? Because, you're a cryptocurrency trader, right? So you're not really relied on a job or anything like that, are you?
So when COVID started, I was working. But what happened was everything shut down. I lost my job, and that's when I got into trading because I had no choice but to find a way to make money and support my family. I've got two kids, and I just have to make it work somehow. And that's when I came across NBA. I went all in with my trading, and then just everything worked out from there.
So did you go all in at the start and fully dedicate yourself to the cause or to the craft, or was it something that you had challenges along the way? Was it an easy thing to get into?
Yeah, it was pretty easy, man. Like back then, I'm the type of person that when I do something, I want to give it my best. I want to be all in, and I just want to push myself as much as I can. And that's one thing that happened with trading. As soon as I got into trading, I decided to go all in. I spent a lot of time going through the course. I spent time, hanging out with the coaches and other members as well. And that's when my trading just started getting better, and then everything just fell into place.
So basically, once you started networking within the community, did you find that you were getting good personal growth within your skill set?
Yeah, 100%, man. Because with trading, it's not just about drawing lines and understanding the market and all that. It's mostly about psychology, learning to be disciplined, controlling your emotions, having a lot of respect for yourself and for your rules as well. So that part of trading is what's helped me grow.
Oh, really? Yeah. So how long did it take you to become comfortable at trading?
I'm still getting comfortable, man. It took me about just to get started from learning support and resistance and just the basic. It took me about 4 or 6 months, but when like I said, when I do something, I like to give it my best. And I was just spending hours and hours every day just practicing and learning how to trade and watching videos and stuff, going through the course, watching the live lessons, re-watching the live lessons, because I just wanted to get really good at it.
Okay, so it was just something that you really had to fully put your 110% into, yeah?
Yeah, man, 100%. And I really enjoyed it as well. And I knew that I could see people making money through trading. I could see there was money to be made in the cryptocurrency space. So I was like, if they can do it, then I can do it too. All I need to do is just go all in, learn to trade, and it just paid off.
So did you ever have any obstacles arise, whether it was mental or, psychological or, just trying to play the game, I guess? Was there any obstacles that came your way, or was it just easy as pie, I should say?
No, there's a lot of things come up, man. I started as an investor, as a holder back in 2017. And at the time I didn't have much money. All the money that I had was just money that I saved up after a year or two or whatever. And still wasn't much. But I put all of that into cryptos because I thought that was going to be my way out and I was going to be a millionaire. And, I started in 2017 just before the crash, and then everything everything crashed. I lost a lot of money and I never came back until 2020.
Yeah. So,
when I started as a trader, I kind of had no choice because I was either going to be jobless and rely on Centrelink, or I was going to find a way of making money. Right, so I had no choice. I had to just go all in. And when I started as a trader, I was playing with big money.
Yeah.
So I lost a lot of money because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying to make money fast. But then when I went back to, okay, I need to start low and then slowly build their account, get used to that amount of money that I started with, and then start getting used to bigger amounts. That's when my psychology, I started working on my psychology. I got used to trading with $1,000, with $10,000. You know what I mean? And then it just started going on from there.
Okay. So yeah, because like it's very easy, like people think that if you just throw more money at it, you'll make more money, but that's not really the case, is it?
I mean, you can flip something and make a lot of money, but it's not a strategy that you can do all the time. Right? Like
Okay.
you're not always going to be making 100 grand up, after 100 grand. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
at one point, the market is going to crash, and you're just going to get burnt out. At one point, you're going to get caught out.
Mm.
And again, like if you're not a trader, you're just investing and making the most of the bull run.
Mm.
Once the bull run ends, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You don't have a strategy or a way to make money in the market. You're just throwing money and hoping for the best. And a lot of the time as well, the problem is that people don't know when to get out of the market.
Yeah.
Right. So you put in a lot of money, you put in 100 grand, and then the market crashes, and then you're like, oh, I'm on 20 grand now. I've lost 80 grand.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are you gonna do? Oh, I just hodl. I'll hodl for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
It might play out. It might not play out. You never know, man. Like back then, coins like TRX, XVG, they were all went to the moon.
Yeah.
5 years later, it's like, where are they now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean. So, yeah, when the bull cycle ended, you felt the pinch a bit from it, did you?
The 2017 one.
Yeah, the 2017, 2018.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was a young dad, man. Like I had my daughter when I was 19. I had my son when I was 21.
Mm,
And I was a young dad, like their mom didn't work at the time. She was just taking care of the kids. I
mm,
was working full time, and everything that I earned was just going towards my bills, my rent. I would struggle to take my family out because we were surviving on one income. And when the whole crypto market started booming back in 2017,
yeah.
I was like, cool, this is my way out. People are making money. I'm gonna make money too. I need to do this. And then the market crashed, and I just lost it all, man. I lost it all. I struggled to recover from that, man. Like it wasn't much money, but I struggled so much because back then saving 5 grand would take me like over a year,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And and I struggled, but I always believed that I could do it. Like I always believed in myself that I could do it. That's why when I joined NBA and I decided to do the course, I told myself and I told those around me that I was going to make it work.
Yeah.
1 year later, it worked out.
Yeah. So you really had to be disciplined as well, and what was some of the things that you applied to your own practices to help you become disciplined in trading?
So the most important thing with trading is having a trade plan, man. Like this, I spent some time earlier with some of the students as well, and I was telling them that having your trade plan is going to keep you disciplined. It's going to help you have your set of rules before you enter any trade. And if you don't follow them, if you break them, it's most likely that you are going to be making the wrong decisions and you can potentially lose money, right? So how I stay disciplined is that I have my set of rules. Even now, even though that now I know what to look for, I know what confirmations to wait for. I already know what to look for. I already know that I need to follow those confirmations before entering any trade. So it's like anything. It's like anything, It's like when you're dieting down, you got to have your diet plan and you got to stick to that so you can stay disciplined. It's the same thing with trading. Trading is discipline. It's a psychological game.
And what would be some of your rules that you would use in your trade plan to help you stay disciplined?
So yeah. So apart from the emotional side, of being calm, and I go more towards waiting for confirmations. Waiting for a pullback to support, waiting for a bullish candles to come up, waiting for fibs waiting for price to pull back to a fib level. Yeah, just confirmations like that. My trade plan is very simple. You've seen my trades. My trades are very, very simple.
Yeah, well, I've been keeping notice or keeping tabs on your trades, through the Facebook page, and I see some real like you really do instill confidence in people when you do show your goals or the trades that you're looking at or you're looking to play, and then when I look at them, it just makes it so simple. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, I guess a lot of people out there, they see that one person does it and it's fine, like easy, fine and dandy type of thing, but it's not the case until they actually give it a go themselves. Like I tend to use like a metaphor. You know, it's sort of like, you know, I can show you how to kick a soccer ball, yeah, but it doesn't mean you're going to be able to kick the soccer ball the same as me. Do you know what I mean? You've got to find your groove and find what suits well for you, even position wise, you know. But yeah. So for you to be able to basically kick that ball, so to say, and I feel that the same is with trading. And one of the things I struggle myself personally, and I'm sure a lot of people, I think it's simply just sticking to the plan. Do you know what I mean? It's quite easily to get distracted and veer off. And I guess like what Donnie said before, you know, you really learn a lot about yourself because, yeah, you just want to jump into the market and just play a trade. Do you find that you have that at all?
Wait, do you mean as in FOMO into the market, like buying into something without following my rules?
Yeah, well, like you see the opportunity for a trade, for example, but it's already started playing off, and you want to jump in and not miss out on the opportunity. But you know, you don't, you know, it's you'll sort of put caution to win just to jump in it because you're eager to make money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Look, I've had a lot of losses doing that. I've had a lot of lessons. So I'm like, now I really do stick to my trade plan, man. And this is the thing, like when you start in your journey as a trader, embrace those bad moments. Like if you're making the wrong trades and you're losing like 10 times in a row, 20 times in a row, go back and find out why you're losing because all of that's going to bring out where you're going wrong. Right. So that's me. Like back then, I wouldn't celebrate my wins. I would celebrate my losses because my losses would expose the stuff that I needed to work on. It's the same with anything. It's the same in network marketing and life. Like if I'm struggling with anything right now, I look at, okay, what's going wrong? What am I doing wrong? Right. And same with trading, man. Like I've tried to chase trades so many times and I got burnt out. So,
Yeah.
so now I know that even though something looks really good, I'm not getting in until, it does line up with my trade plan.
So do you still get burnt out from trading, or is it your trade plan has really helped you with your mental state?
I don't really get burnt. It's because I use correct risk management, right? I always make sure I have my stop loss. I always make sure my trade is at least 2 to 1. I don't really get burned like a lot of people that say they lost 50% in the trade or whatever. But I do get losses. Like with trading, it's like you're not going to get it right 100% of the time, but you can still earn more than what you lose. You just got to make sure your risk to reward ratio is on point.
Okay. So what are some of your rules for risk management? What is it that you look out for when you setting up your trade? Like, what are some of the things you go by?
So what I always look for is when I set my stop loss, I make sure that my trade is at least 2 to 1. My stop loss is always low previous structure, and that's what I stick to, man. Like I can lose 3 times and win one, and I'm still in profits.
Because yeah, I seen your trades and your stop losses. They don't look very big. They look very small. And I was
Yeah,
like, when I look at that and I try to play something like that, I just get real paranoid. And sure, a lot of people out there would get paranoid as well. Like that, it's just going
yeah.
to hit it because the market's so volatile. It can, at a second's notice, can just dump. Like I think we just had like over the weekend on Saturday,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Bitcoin.
That's because we're like when I enter at a support level, I set my stop loss below the previous structure. That's why I wait for those double bottoms because I know that previous bottom will save my trade, will save my position in case price has pulled back and then it goes up. So that's why you see me trade a lot of double bottoms, double tops, because I can get a tighter stop loss,
All
and,
right,
and
yeah.
the probabilities of that reversing is higher.
Oh, that's a pretty good tip there. Is like because I've been learning about these double bottoms, or some people call them double V's or W's.
Yep.
But basically, like it's like yeah, you're seeing price come up, come back down, but it can't go below the previous or the current support, and then yeah, like you said, the probabilities I guess then are higher because it can only move up. Then I guess from then. So do you ever have any problems with Did you well like probably not now so much, but at the start, taking profit and finding your take profit areas was how did you go about working that out? Was that something that you just picked up straight away, or was it something that took experimental and time and learning?
Yeah, no, like a lot of the things that I do now, it was just a lot of trial and error. Like my taking profits as well. Like I would let trades play out, and I would have a high target, and then my I'll be in profits, and it will almost reach it, but then it'll crash. So I would miss some profits and I'll get stopped out and I pretty much lost the trade. So then I started setting my take profits lower.
Yep.
But then again, I would get stopped out. Sorry, my trade will close. I'll be in profits, but then the coin will continue going up. So I've learned to be okay with that. I would rather secure profits and accumulate my percentage gains than try and chase something and get out of the top and at the bottom. But what I do now is I take multiple profits. I manage my trade as it goes up. Right, so it hits my first target. I close a percentage of my trade. I let the rest run, then again close it again, and I do that until the trend stays bullish. Once the trend turns bearish, that's when I close my trade and I look for something else.
Yeah, because a lot of people. I think the term that I learned during the week last week was a lot of people forget to pay themselves, and they just try to chase the big wins. And a couple of times it's happened for me too, where I've set take profit areas and it just misses it out, and then it starts going down. And the hardest thing is dealing with the psychology of thinking, like in your head, you're like, oh, I had all this money and I just let it go. And do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I've been there, bro, and you just gotta be okay with that, man. Like you gotta think long term, right? Like right now, you may not make much money out of 10%, a 10% win, but in a year or two, that 10% win that you have, it's like it could be massive. Right, because like even now, like when I started, 10-20% wouldn't be much. But now, if I aim for like a 20% win or a 10% win, I'm happy to not trade for a couple of weeks.
So did you? So at the start of your trading journey, you used a lot of money, you lost it all, or you didn't? I don't know. Did you lose it all?
When I started as a holder in 2017, I did. Because a
Yeah.
lot of the coins that I bought didn't go back up. But at the start of the year, I was only losing like $1,000 or so. But that was so much money to me back then.
Yeah. So you had a bigger account at the start, and what you weren't as successful, but you dialed yourself back to a smaller account, and then you tried to grow that. So basically, you were trying to compound your account, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what are some of the things was there any practices you did with yourself, like to help you keep yourself content with just the small gains? Because it's not, with a small account, you're not making big money. And it's that, like you were saying before, you had to become comfortable with, being able to take small profits and, like expect the account to compound. But what were some of the things? Did you have any self-doubt during that time? Was there anything that you told yourself to help you stay focused at the task?
Yeah, I just understood that it's part of the process, man. Like I would listen to stories like Jason's where he also lost a lot of money and then he started small and started compounding his money, and MPA were teaching us. I was like, okay, if they're teaching this, then this is what I need to do. Right.
Yeah.
And it's just about, understanding the process. That's part of the process. You're not going to make a lot of money at first. And yeah, just enjoy it, because within time you are going to be growing, you are going to be developing new skills, and at one point it's all just going to click and make sense, and your life is going to be completely different. Right. So that was always behind my head. I was like, I need to continue doing this because one day everything's going to click and everything's going to make sense and my life is going to be different, right? So that was always what I was thinking about. So small wins, big wins, I didn't care. I was just going through the motions every day, getting good at my trading. And yeah, man, I just realized that it's part of the process. It is what it is.
So, you were saying that you got students. You got students now you're mentoring people under you. That's right.
Yeah, that's right, man. I've got a pretty big team, and I've got an amazing team, bro. I've got a lot of good people working with me, a lot of ambitious, hungry people that just want to succeed in trading, and in the network marketing side as well. So I'm super grateful.
So, what are some of the things that you tell your students when they first get into trading? Because it's very easy to be overwhelmed with all the information, whether it's through the MBA community or it's through YouTube. There are millions of people selling courses, Udemy. What do you tell people? Like, what is it that you get them to do first to start that journey in the easiest
Yeah.
way possible, I guess?
Yeah, so when they join MBA, obviously, we do have a course, and it goes from very basic technical analysis to then more advanced.
Mm.
And my advice to them is always to get good at every single lesson and just keep their training very, very simple. I tell them that they're gonna see other people doing other crazy stuff, using other indicators, and doing all this crazy bunch of shit to make money, but just keep it simple and stick to it, because that's the tools. That's pretty much all tools you need. Because like if you look at someone like Jason, he just trades resistance, support, trend line, breakout, retest, buy and sell at the next target, right? And Jason does this full time. Jason is our lead coach, so that's what I follow as well, and that's what I try to pass on to my students to keep it simple. I also let them know that trading is a long term run. Some people might get it quick and make money fast. Some people won't, but it is what it is. You just keep going through it, and yeah. So just keep it simple. It takes time. Be patient, but at one point it is all going to make sense, and your life is going to be different.
So how I know, like, yeah, you started in 2017 investing, and it's been over the last couple of years that you've really fully taken a good grasp of trading and stuff. Would you say it's fair to say that the average journey of a trader would be from about, say, 2 to 4 years from, starting to being confident and comfortable? Or because, like, you did a pretty big achievement this year, being able to pay 18 months ahead on your apartment. Was that right?
Yeah, man, that's
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
and that's a pretty big achievement that not many people can achieve, especially during COVID, where everyone's struggling for employment. That you were able to just come off the back of the hand and basically, yeah, pay up,
Yeah.
18 months, So it's a bit of an achievement. So in saying that, it is obviously feasible for people to be able to get to where you have over time. But what would be an expectation of time that people should set for themselves so they don't be too eager and burn themselves out?
Yeah, that's a hard question to answer, man. Because, like I said, everyone's different, man. Like some people will learn to trade like this in 3 months, 6 months. They'll be making money. Some people might take a longer. Might take a year. Might take two. You know what I mean? Like I started in 2017 as an investor, throwing money into random coins and crossing my fingers and hoping for the best, which didn't end well. But then I got into trading last year, and I went all in from day one, and it worked out. You know what I mean? So it's hard to answer, man. Like I've seen people get really good at trading within the first few months,
Yep.
and I've seen people struggle for 6, 7 months. It all just depends on the person and where their mindset is at as well, right? Because if your mindset is not right and you try to give trading a go, it may not work out for you. You know what I mean? But if you
Yeah.
come in with the right attitude and mindset, and you're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to make money for the rest of my life, it's going to work out because you're creating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a lot to it, man.
Yeah. So, well, did you have a penny drop moment when it came to trading, like where you sort of felt like you sort of worked it out, or are you still waiting for that penny to drop, or will it never come?
As in that clicking moment.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, man. Like my trading style at the start of the year was crazy, man. It was like indicators this, indicators that, Fibonacci here, Fibonacci
Yeah.
there, support resistance here, trend lines here, Bitcoin dominance, and all this other stuff. And then when I decided to just keep it simple and go back to support resistance trend lines, I was like, okay, cool. This works. And again, this goes back to me going back to my losses, because before I enter any trades, I still do it now, but I used to do it more often when I was learning. I will go back to the trades that failed, and I'll look and see where I went wrong. Okay, what happened here? Why did this go against me? And then I realized that my most profitable trades were from just keeping it simple, support resistance trend lines, and that's what I stick to now.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
So I guess that was my clicking moment. I was like, okay, cool. This is what works for me. And that's why I tell my students as well. I tell them, hey, listen, make sure you're recording your trades, so then you can go back to them and see where you went wrong. And also, I used to keep a note on how I was feeling on the day. So if I was feeling anxious, if I was feeling nervous or whatever, I wouldn't wait for confirmations. I wouldn't be patient, and I'll get into a trade too early or too late, and I'll get burnt out. right? So now I know that I need to be in the right emotional state before I start trading. So that's why sometimes you don't see me trade. I don't do my hangouts because I don't feel like it.
Yeah.
I got to be in a really good mood to be trading.
So do you have like a morning routine or something to help you get into the right mindset before you jump on the computer and look for trades?
I don't have a routine I follow, but I do go for a walk every morning, and it just depends on what I need to do on the day, and depends on what I need to focus on. So like if I'm focusing on trading, I'm just going for a walk and I'm just visualizing me, presenting a lesson or whatever. I watch a lot of our coaches' videos as well to see what they're doing and stuff. I'm
Yeah.
always learning. I'm always learning. When I'm doing like a presentation or something for someone with the IBO side, I'm going for a walk and I'm seeing myself doing the presentation. I'm listening to other network marketers. It just depends, man. I don't really have a routine. Sometimes I just stay in bed until midday and just chill on my phone.
So you like to basically visualize yourself in doing what you want to achieve, and that sort of hypes you up or gets you ready and puts you in the mindset for when you go to take the task on, right?
Yeah, that's key for me because I concentrate my energy on what I need to do.
Mm.
Right? So like if I'm doing a trading presentation, I'm bringing out that trader Joel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm getting in that energy. If I'm doing a presentation for a lot of people or I'm doing one-on-one or whatever, I'll bring out that network marketer Joel. You know what I mean? I bring that energy out.
Yeah.
So I just put myself in different energy, different vibrations, and that's why my routine is always different.
So you have like a different cap for everything that you do. Like you put your network marketer cap on when you've got network marketing things to do, and then you got a trader cap that you put on to get into that trader mindset when you go to trade. Yeah.
Yeah, man, 100%. Like when I did the NBA Monday call, I needed to bring out that energy out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I had to put on my presenter cap on and just get to it.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what time of the day do you like to normally jump on the charts? Is there a specific time of the day you like? Because I know some people preference the nights when you've got I think it's the UK market opens up about 9 o'clock, I think it is, and then you've got the US market at 2 o'clock in the morning Melbourne time. So, a lot of people generally favour that time slot. Um, do you have a preference?
No, not really, man. I'm always in front of the computer now. Like when I was working, I would prefer to jump on in the mornings. But now that I'm doing this full time, I just I jump on whenever. There's always opportunities in the market. Market's always open.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now I don't really have a time preference. It also depends on how I'm feeling. Like if in the mornings I'm not feeling ready for it, I just chill. And if I'm feeling better for it at night, then I start chatting at nighttime. Again, just
Yeah.
depends.
So it just basically depends when you're up for jumping on the computer and putting some time into the charts, yeah?
Yeah, man. Yeah, because like if I'm not feeling up for it in the morning, but I'm waiting for a certain time for a market to open, but I'm not feeling ready, then I may not even trade. You know what I mean? So I'd rather focus my energy on something else than trying to force something.
Yeah, I get what you're saying because it's like they say you have to remain patient and wait for the trade, but it's very hard to. So, what are some of the things that you do to
Yeah.
combat that?
That's a good one. Sorry, but I forgot to mention it. But wait for the trade to come to you, man. That's key. All right, because
Yeah,
if you're chasing trades, you're just going to be anxious to get into anything, and you're just going to jump into anything. You're going to get wrecked. So what I did was I worked out what my strategy. I worked out what works for me, right? And if I don't see that setup and I don't see that risk to reward, I'm not entering the trade. So I'm charting like 10, 20 coins a day. And if that setup doesn't show up, if that support resistance trend line setup doesn't show up, I'm not entering a trade, right? So even if it takes like 2 3 days or a week of me not trading, I'm cool because I'm following my trade plan. I'm following my rules. Um, so yeah, that's key, man. Just find what works for you, what your favorite setup is. Well, and yeah, just stick to those.
so how do you because from what you're telling me, basically you're content to walk away, like you don't get FOMO or you know, yeah, you're content to like it's not easy to just walk away, because you're always feeling like you're missing out on something. And they all say, yeah, there'll be another opportunity around the corner. But as I think, normally through life, when we go through life, we are taught not to try and miss out on things. Do you know what I mean? Because you never know if you'll ever get the opportunity again. We're like conditioned like that in society. But when it comes to the charts, you have to walk away. You got to be content with walking away. Like,
Yeah.
did you have
No,
any troubles with that?
sorry. Yeah. No, I walk away from anything and anyone, bro. That's
Yeah.
who I am. Like,
Uh,
I don't have any emotional attachment to anything or anyone. Right.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it's not because, I'm trying to push people away and, you know what I mean? Like some people take it as arrogance or whatever. It's more of I'm looking after myself. I'm looking after my energy. I'm looking after what it is that I want. And if something doesn't line up with what I want, cool. This is it. You know what I mean? So with trading, um, walking away from trading, it's not hard because I know that I can make money in a different trade. I know that I'm capable. I have the skill set to make money in the market. So I'm okay if I miss something. I'm okay. I'm just gonna find something else, and it's gonna come up, right?
Yeah. So are you one of those people, you're not one of those people that just trades 10 coins a day, or are you one of those people, or are you one that, because like what I find with myself, and I'm sure a lot of people find it as well, is there's hundreds of coins, or if not thousands of coins out there, and there's so much to look at. And yeah, like, what do you do? Do you have only 10, or do you just look at anything and everything?
Yeah, I just look at anything and everything, man. Like I said, I already know what I'm looking for. Like most of the time, I don't need to spend time chatting a lot of these coins. I just flick through them all, and I'm just trying to find the ones with the right setup that I like. So
Yeah.
the trend is bullish. I'm waiting for those coins that are about to pull back to a support level so that I can catch the next pump. And if
Yeah,
the
yeah.
trend is bearish, I'm waiting for those coins that are closer to the resistance so that I can get into the market and catch the next drop.
Okay.
Right, so
Yeah.
I trade like Jason, man. That breakout retest. That's all I'm looking for. And if I don't see it, I don't bother charting it. I just keep going, keep flicking until I find it.
Yeah. So, what sort of time frames do you like to look at as yourself? Because are you a day trader, or would you call yourself a day trader?
I trade. It just depends again. Like I trade different time frames. Lately, I've been trading the 15 minutes just because of how the market is. But usually, I trade the 1 hour, the 4 hour. Just depends on what the market is doing. Depends on how I'm feeling. Depends if I want to scalp. Like this is a good thing as well about trial and error is that you learn different strategies. There's different strategies for different markets, bull markets, bear markets, consolidating markets. There's different strategies, and you got to know how to use different strategies for different markets, I guess.
So it's really important that people understand, as part of the growth or the learning journey, there is a lot of trial and error, and I guess that's what helps you gather experience, yeah, in looking at charts and being able to understand them.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like the thing is, NBA, and I'm not saying this because I'm a part of NBA. I'm saying this because it's true. NBA can give you all the tools that you need to become a successful trader, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Everything you need. NBA. We have coaches like Annie Shambos, Donnie, Jason, and now Phil, who's looking after the new students. It's
yeah,
like NBA has everything that you need. Stick to it. Focus on all the lessons. Learn everything that they teach you. Hang out, spend time with the coaches. Watch the live lessons. Commit to it, and there's no doubt that you'll get to become a profitable trader. You just need to get through the bad times, the good times. Like what pushes people away from trading is that they start losing money, and then they get discouraged. They lose motivation. They're like, oh, this isn't for me. Oh, I've lost so much money. Oh, I'm gonna leave NBA. I'm gonna leave the academy. I'm just gonna do my own thing. And it's like you're just quitting. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't quit. If it gets hard, you keep going. Find out why is it going hard. What are you struggling with? Yeah, you just gotta keep going. Push until you make it.
Yeah, like anything that I guess acquiring a skill. Yeah, I think that what's most important is, yeah, I guess a community one helps a lot, quite a bit, but also having access to mentors and people with experience in the field that you're looking to achieve. Do you know what I mean? And in this scenario, we're talking about trading, having trading mentors around to be there for you, yeah, for you to ask questions to plays a big role in your growth journey of trading. Otherwise, if you're all on your alone, it's a lot harder, yeah?
100%, man. Like I tried to do it alone after I lost so much money. For
Mm.
2 years, I went nowhere. I just couldn't work it out. Right, I
Yeah.
joined NBA after 6, 7 months. I was already seeing results. Now, when I joined NBA last year, there was about 3 calls. There was barely any hangouts. There was barely any experienced traders. But now, anyone that jumps into NBA and wants to learn to trade, they're surrounded by amazing traders. We have a bigger community. We have about, I think, 5 or 6 calls a week, live calls with the head coaches.
Yeah.
We've got experienced traders running trading hangouts. We've got people who know about other stuff like NFTs, DeFi's, and all this other crazy stuff in the crypto space. It's like, we have everything in NBA right now. You know what I mean? It's like, that's if you want to change your life, that's your opportunity, and you can and make the most of it. Yeah, because when I started, it wasn't like that, bro. When I started, it was like, I was like doing 1 or 2 calls a week, and that's it.
Yeah,
But yeah.
well, no, they've got a lot of content out there. If it's not your 10-minute, whiteboard lessons or all these other little lessons, and then all the extra stuff that the mentors throw in as well as that, those Zoom calls alone actually provide value. To me, it's almost like I'd rather have that than a subscription to Netflix because I've got more to gain out of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, man. And at one point, it pays for itself, because at one point
Yeah.
you're going to be profitable. You're going to be making maybe $1,000, $2,000 a week from trading, and that can just go to your subscription.
Oh yeah, and not to mention, well, whether IBO aside, if you don't do that, but yeah, all that is just tax deductible at the end of the year once you start making profits. So you'll get some of your money back. Like in the end, you won't end up paying for it. Do you know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah, it's one of the things that not a lot of people realize or know about. They think, oh, I've got to pull out this money out of my pocket to pay for trading education. But what they don't realize is that everything that they put towards their trading, whether it's a computer that they buy to do trading, the mobile phone to trade off, or to do their, like what's it called, the two-step authentication, like myself. All this is all tax deductible. You don't give all your money back or half the money back on tax. If you're smart about how you do it. But just in saying that, what's your thoughts on the crypto space for the future?
So in the short run, man, like we had a massive pump. There's a lot of hype behind cryptos, and this is something that I see. I might be wrong, but it's very similar to this 2017 dump that we had.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
like we had all these crazy things coming out back then. ATMs everywhere, people accepting cryptos as payment. The Bitcoin went from, like, I think it was like 1 grand to like 20 grand. And at the end of the year, everything just started crashing. And I'm seeing the exact same thing. I'm seeing very similar things this time.
yeah,
And people are paying crazy amounts for NFTs. There's all these shit coins, making people with so much money. It just feels like, and Bitcoin as well, it's gone from, like, what was it, like 3 grand last year to what, like 60 grand. So it's
yeah.
like,
We got to about 69, didn't we? Not like
yeah, yeah.
about a month ago or less than that.
Let me check. But yeah, yeah. Like, we went to, yeah, about 60, 68,
Yeah, yeah,
and at one point the market has to come back down. At one point, it's a cycle. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I feel like we are closer to the end of a cycle. And yeah, if this is the start of the bear run and the market turns around completely, then we are going to see a lot of people lose money.
Yeah, I don't know if you've watched Crypto Banter, but Ran from there, the host of the show, he actually put it down really well. Like if you were there present in the 2017, 2018 cycle, you probably would have lost a bit of money, but you would have got a lot of practice under your belt for this season. And same goes for the people that would have got in this time around. They probably will lose a lot of money, but they'll also gain a lot of experience. So when the next bull cycle comes up, they're better prepared for it. Like I was better prepared this time than I was last time, like yourself, where we were first time into the markets and we seen look like glory days, and we were straight to the moon. But little did I know, and probably yourself either, that what goes up must come down, and didn't realize how sharply it was going to come down like it did. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, man. Like I feel like back then when I lost a lot of money, I didn't realize, but to me that was a blessing, because
Yeah,
if I didn't lose money by investing and holding random coins, I would have come back to this bull market just buying and investing random coins and hoping for the best and crossing my fingers and praying that I do make money. But this time I was like, okay, cool. This is the bull run. I'm gonna educate myself and I'm gonna learn to trade. I'm gonna make the most of it, right? And like I'm not like the greatest trader out there. I'm not a millionaire or whatever. But now I feel more prepared for the next bull run,
Yeah,
right?
same.
And now as a trader, I can make money through the next bear run as well. I can just short the market and stuff. So I'm cool, man. I'm chill. Whatever happens, happens. The market goes up, cool. The market goes down, cool. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. Like, yeah, so yeah, and I feel the same too. Like, yeah, I came out a lot better this time round, and then yeah, next time round I'll be a bit better prepared. And I guess that's the one thing I love about trading as well. It's an occupation that you don't need foot traffic or clients. You don't need an employer. You work for yourself as long as you're disciplined. And everyone wants to start a business, and this would be no different. Yeah, it's something that you
Yeah.
can hold on for a lifetime. Do you know what I mean? Unlike any other
Yeah.
occupation, as long as you got your brain, that's all that matters. Do you know what I mean? You can be
100%, man.
wheelchair bound and all that sort of stuff, but you can still make an
100%.
income. And there's a lot of people out there that are actually struggling right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah, man. So, look, I'll wrap it up for here, but I wanted to know, I'll probably addressed most of it, and we probably hit the nail on the head with a lot of things, which we probably found a lot of good nuggets for a lot of newbie traders. But is there anything, if there was one thing you would tell your younger self 2 years ago when you started, what would you tell yourself?
Yeah. So I would just.
Like, what would you tell
Again,
your kids? What would you tell your kids if they wanted to get into
say it again,
trading?
say it again, say it again. Bro, so I just lost what I was going to say, man.
That's all right. Go for it.
Fuck.
Tell me.
So what would I tell myself?
What would you tell yourself, or
See,
would?
but this is the thing that I like. I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I lost money. I'm happy that everything that's happened because that's made me who I am now. Do you know what I mean? Like, so what would I tell myself? Just to like not give up, not give up and shit.
So you're
Like you
saying,
said.
so you're saying to me, you would rather let yourself make the mistakes and grow from that than to give yourself a joker or a wild card in the back pocket and be able to move like in leaps and bounds. Do you know what I mean? Like, I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. Some people like to learn from experience while others value advice. But so you're saying that you would rather, so you're just saying make the mistakes, they do happen, and just grow from it.
Yeah. So I'm all about learning from mistakes, man. I'm all about learning from failure, bro. Like I'm so glad that I lost a lot of money back then because this time I'm like, okay, now I need to do this properly. I can't do what I did before, right? So I always try to like lose and fail rather than win quick because that exposes the stuff that I need to work on. That exposes my weaknesses, exposes where my where I am. You know what I mean? And what I need to where I need to grow. And if I was to go back in time and tell myself anything, I would say, cool, just keep going because you don't know what's coming to you. What's coming for you is going to be the best thing that's ever happened to you. Just keep going because back then I was going through a very very bad time, man. Like I was on my lowest in my life, and if I didn't go through the lowest, I wouldn't be grateful and I wouldn't appreciate where I am right now, right?
Yeah.
If I went through so much suffering back then, that's turned me into a person that now I just want to be successful. I want to do good for everyone. I want to do good for my family, for my kids, right? And if I didn't go through those struggles and I didn't go through that tough time, who knows? Like right now, I wouldn't have made the most of this opportunity that showed up in front of me, right? And yeah, like my advice is just would be to me, just keep going, man, keep going because you don't know what's coming for you.
So basically, embrace struggle because through struggle, you're actually learning.
Yes, 100%, man. I believe that, man. Like if I fail, I'm like, cool. Well, why did it fail? Where did it fail? What did I need to? What do I need to do better? And then I move on, right? And that's how I live my life. Like now, if I lose a friend, okay, what happened? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
what went wrong? If I lose a partner, cool. Okay, what happened? Okay, cool. It's just making room for the next person. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I live like my life like that, man. Like whatever's meant for me will come for me. Whatever's meant to leave will leave. That's how I see it.
So you always continually reassessing the situation, whether it's trading or in personal life.
Yeah, 100%. It's like when you're driving a car and your car breaks down, you have to go and see what the problem is, and you have to fix it to then to continue to move forward, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I see my life, and that's how I see myself trading as well. Same thing. If I'm struggling to win trades and I'm struggling to make money as a trader, okay, cool. What am I doing wrong? Is it my risk management? Is it my analysis? Is it my emotions? Cool,
Yeah.
fixed it. Okay, cool. And then that's when you level up. That's when you go to the next level. And that's why I embrace losing. I embrace failure and struggles.
Cool. Yeah, no, that's a lot of, you've given me a lot of good information there, as well as for the viewers as well. Look, I really value your time for coming on to the show today, Joel. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you for the invite, bro. Yeah, I've had so much fun, man.
You're welcome, bro.
Interviews is one thing that I never used to enjoy, but now it's like I'm happy to do them all the time. I really do enjoy doing them. I know that I can add a lot of value to people out there as well. So I'm happy doing this, man. I'm super grateful.
So, do you have any Facebook pages or YouTube channels, or have you got any content out there that you're showing with the general public?
Yeah, so lately I'm just posting a lot of my stuff on my Facebook. So jump on my Facebook, you'll find me as Joel Fernandez. Under my profile name, you'll find my link tree, and it'll have links to my YouTube, to my social media as well. But I post a lot of my content on Facebook. I post a lot of trades. Post a lot of videos, motivational stuff. But I'm just very active on Facebook.
Beautiful. So what I'll do is I'll grab that link tree link off you, or that address, and I'll whack that in the description below for everyone that wants to reach out to or connect with you. They'll be able to do that. But yeah, to everyone out there, don't forget to subscribe to hear about future content here, as well as if you enjoyed this episode of the Neil Coots Show, be sure to smash that like button, show some love and respect, and we can keep bringing this content out to you. But from myself, Neil Coots, and Joel Fernandez, thank you very much and have a good day.